There was no room on the road which wraps itself around the port of Durban. It had been turned into a thoroughfare for raiders and thieves as they ransacked warehouses and distribution centres located close to the shipping terminal. The young and the old took advantage, with people on foot, joined by those in pickup trucks who'd come to steal in bulk. And the police and the country's military, well, they were nowhere to be seen.
Why are people doing this? Why are people doing it?
The train tracks were used as a form of escape by those lugging stolen goods, although many tried to avoid our camera.
Hungry, we're hungry. You're hungry?
It was a sentiment expressed by many.
Why are people looting?
No food, no nothing, no work, he says.
But you can't eat a bicycle.
I can, he responded. The trouble was triggered by the it has been fueled by frustration in a country where millions are struggling in the midst of the pandemic. The authorities have made nearly 2,000 arrests nationwide, but they are not in control. On the River Horse Industrial Estate, the police unit fired tear gas and rubber bullets in an attempt to clear the park. The police are outnumbered and bewildered, and some are growing angry. As they race to another call, we saw one officer firing his weapon at people on the roadside at point-blank range. Roadblocks have been erected to intercept.
All right, so this is coming to America. They say it's all fun until it hits home. Crisis like this is a global crisis. What we're looking at right now is thousands of people, mothers, children, cousins. They're looting, and they're looting in South Africa. But please believe, they're looting because of shortages. But this here is happening in many places of the world. There are shortages that are happening in large parts of Jamaica, parts of Brazil. I know somebody from Jamaica that has quite a bit of money called me on the phone, and they were crying because there just was a shortage of food. There was no food available for them to feed their family. I asked the question, what good is to be a millionaire when there's nothing to buy, when there's a shortage of food? You see, this pandemic we're living in is just getting started. It is just there is a triple trickle effect. We're going into this new world, and this new world will be totally different, because before we get into this new world, there will be a collapse, and we have not seen it yet. There's a lot of people out here just vacationing, traveling, and living their best life, and I don't knock that. Do what you do, but you should also be preparing yourself for anything. And see, when you have shortages, you got anarchy, you got chaos. Are you prepared for people kicking in your door because they're hungry, they have nothing to lose? And the police are not able to help you because they don't even have the resources to do it. Are you prepared for a global blackout? A blackout in your city where there's no electricity for a week, 2 weeks. You can't even pick up your phone because there's no electricity. All of these things, I'm not trying to be negative, but I want for you all to keep in your mind that you want to have some type of plan and preparation. Now, your plan could maybe include, it's going to various things. I mean, you want to have some spiritual preparation, right? You definitely want to be prayed up and have God in your corner, because that's essential. But then outside of that, you got to know how to prepare yourself for a crisis as well. You want to get an idea on, how can you get clean water? Do you have backup water and things that's available? Do you have backup food supply that's available? All right. We have to be ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, because this stuff is happening on a global level. Again, here's what's happened. People are now, they're waking up and realizing that it's easier to game the system by getting unemployment than it is to work a regular job. And that's what's happening. We're at the end. They say this is biblical times, right? It's the end of the last days. What that means is the end of one world, fall of a nation, and we're going into a whole new world. A world that's going to be led by truth. It's going to be led by the people are going to have power by what they know and technology, because information is going to be everywhere. People are going to have cryptocurrencies and decentralized opportunities to be their own banks. It will be a world that will be totally different from what we're in now. We're going to see more automation, robots. It'll be totally different. So you're going to have to get your mind geared up for that. And this is one reason why I'm really big into these cryptocurrencies as well. Because with the cryptocurrencies, for example, Hex is a token. Let me show you something real quick. Hex is an opportunity where you can be able to get a small amount of money. You can take $100, $200, $1,000, $10,000, $1 million, and you can earn interest just by staking it. You locking it up and saying, hey, if I lock this money up for a certain amount of time, I'm going to get paid a very high interest, in addition to the fact that the price will rise as well. I'm not giving you financial advice, but this is why this is important, because you want to put yourself in a position where money is still going to be made, regardless. Even when you have emergencies, you want to protect yourself by having some money still being made. You want to put your money where wealthy people putting their money at. What is this? All right, I don't know what this is right here. But we got to prepare ourselves, right? Now, some people will say, well, these shortages are short term and, we need to be more long-term focuses. And there's a microchip shortage, which is true. Look, if you just type up shortage and supply, all of these videos are like within this week. You see microchip shortages, food shortages a week ago, the great labor shortage crisis, that was a month ago. A day ago. I mean, what do you expect? People aren't paying rent. They don't have to. Landlords aren't paying mortgages. People aren't working. All right. And they're overinflating. But by they, meaning the government is printing more and more money than ever. So the money's becoming more and more worthless. However, we're not manufacturing anything. So I'm not saying any of this to scare you, because I just want you to keep a mindset of being prepared. Having a community of folks around you that you can lean on, where, maybe one person has access to shelter, to one person may have access to food, water, to gardens. One person has the expertise of money and currency. Like, you just want to be prepared, guys, for whatever. Preparation is real. You want to also be prepared by having your physical self-defense classes and things in order. All of this stuff is very, very important. All right. So I'm going to be making more videos about these type of topics, so that way, we can continue to kind of just cover this stuff as it's happening. Also, support the channel as well. We're looking to upgrade this system. I want to upgrade the computers and stuff and all this. I keep getting these delays. I need to update this computer. If you want to support this channel, you can by hitting the Cash App. We have a Cash App below. You see the link. Please contribute to the channel. Or you can support the channel by taking the classes, purchasing the books and things as well. Not just, for supporting the channel for like equipment, but just in general. Like, I'm just a big believer in, I like to invest in myself, but I'm also a believer in allowing a business to support itself. So with me putting out content on a daily basis, I want to see that this business actually generates the support, whether it be through sales or through support, so that way it can kind of reinvest within itself versus me just coming out of my own pocket. But of course, if I don't get the support, that's not going to stop us. I'll just come out of my own pocket and do what I got to do. But I definitely want to see if this content is resonating with folks. This channel is resonating with folks. So we have to be prepared, guys. And there's also going to be great opportunity. Please believe, whenever there's crisis, there is huge opportunity available as well. Please believe. So I'm not saying this to scare anybody, because whenever you have a food shortage or a supply shortage, guess what? You can potentially take part in that. You get your money together, you get you a box truck, and you start working with Amazon to help deliver stuff, and you get into, or you start up a trucking company, right? You do things that you're good at, your strength lies, and you build your team around that. Okay. But this is opportunity. I always talk about real estate, cryptocurrency. To me, these are some of the biggest opportunities, especially when you know what to invest in. I'm not a financial advisor, but I strongly encourage folks to take a look at the Hex platform and the staking platform with Hex, because that's the opportunity where you can get involved in the world's fastest growing asset on the planet, which is Hex, growing faster than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and every other coin is available, and it's paying you for being disciplined. Basically, the longer you lock up your money, the higher you can get paid based on the inflation. So it's made for the people. Okay, it's one of the best things I've seen in terms of digital assets. All right, so prepare ourselves mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, and let's continue to grow. I don't want to belabor this point. This video is going long. But don't think that this stuff can't come to a city near you, because we've already seen it. We've seen Houston have no electricity for 2 weeks. We've seen that. We've seen New Orleans, when that flood Katrina hit, and they were out of electricity, food, and things for almost a month. We've seen that. This stuff is not new. Okay, we've seen, even in biblical days, we've seen changes. There was times when people in the advanced civilization, they lost everything to a crisis and a collapse. There's evidence of this stuff. One person I really I like to hear from and to study from is a guy by the name of what is this guy's name? He's an anthropologist, and he talks a lot about Graham Hancock is his name. And Graham Hancock talks a lot about the evidence that they've been finding that ancient civilizations were advanced, and that there's evidence that there was a great cataclysm that hit the planet in about 11,000 years ago during the age of Cancer. And that this comet or asteroid that hit the planet caused the global climate shift for over 80%. Were like hunters and gatherers, people that were not living in advanced cities. They were living off of the land, killing their food. People that are living like in the jungle areas and forest areas. And to a certain extent, that makes sense, right? Because when things go down and collapse, are you prepared to survive? Whatever that looks like. So I'm not trying to, again, this is not doomsday. I'm not saying that the whole world is just going to shut down, but we got to wake up and realize the world we're in. Like literally last year, we saw in 2020, we saw the entire globe shut down. All the businesses, all the supply chains was impacted. And this is still only the beginning. Remember, whenever there's a huge hit, like a comet or anything, a big wave, it happens in ripples. Okay. Anytime it's like a sound wave. You got the beginning when you first hear the wave, it's going to hit that initial sound, and then there will be a reverberation, and there will be more ripples that will come. And so we saw the initial stages in 2020, boom, but now that sound is going to reverberate. So we, over the next 3 to 5 years, will continue to feel the impact of this, probably over the next 10 years, to be honest. And the stock market hasn't even collapsed yet. You know, the housing market hasn't collapsed yet. So eventually that thing will collapse. I'm not saying it's going to happen, you know, this year, but eventually it has to, because that's what economic cycles do. They go up and they go down. You got to buy, you got to sell, because the whole world is built on fiat money, right? The inflation and things. And if you think about life, that's what life is built on. You breathing in, breathing out. You expand and you contract. So you build and then you got to collapse. So with that being said, right now we're still in this collapse phase. Don't get panicked, because this is normal. These crises really are something that we've been through before. Maybe not on this level in recent times, but your spirit has been through stuff like this before. And you got to have your mind strong. You got to be focused. Don't get distracted by thinking everything is sweet out here and you're just going to be just traveling all over the world, spending your money on random bull crap like everything is normal. Things will never go back to normal, all right? Educational system will never be the same. Teaching and educating our kids will be different, and it will never be like it was. All right, the way that we go out with our friends and socialize will never be the same. We got new technology. In fact, we even got new people, right? People are being transformed. We got the whole transgender movements. We have, and when I say transgender, what I mean really is transhuman, where people they're just changing on a genetic level. And I think it's inevitable. Like, we can talk about whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong, but the reality is it's in the stars. You know, I'm really big and looking to astrology. And when we're going into this age of Aquarius, the reality is Aquarius energy is very much about transformation. It's very much about digital technology, communities, power going to the people, you know, humanity, and being a philanthropist, and just things transforming. Okay. It's very far out of this world, and it's also very powerful, and it causes explosions. So we're in a world where it's going to be explosive, dynamic, out of this world. It's like a science fiction film. And remember, most of the stuff we see in science fiction is most likely possible. So don't get caught up in your box thinking that everything is just logical, what you can understand, because the logic that we have makes sense for the current world, but it doesn't always fit in the new world we're going into. So we'll talk more about this. And I actually like talking about this type of stuff. I'm really into the deeper levels of science, technology, earth, and just the deeper mysteries of life. So let me know if y'all want me to talk about this more. If you're still watching this video, let me know and say, hey, talk about this more. Leave it in the description, and also contribute to the channel. Hit the Cash App. Get the Shut Up and Hustle books. Okay, get those books. Buy multiple of them. Support the channel. Sign up to the classes where we teach you about the cryptos as well, where you can be able to transform your life. Find the greatest altcoins as well. I am your platform partner, your hustling homie Jackson, all about helping you take action to live the life of your dreams. I'll see you at the next video. Peace.